Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong and try to isolate an aspect of the race that might be a path towards finding the winner. Well, on Sunday we have the second leg of the four-year-old Classic Series, the Classic Cup, and that's the first race I want to take a look at. It's race 7 and our winning factor is the map. So, of course, this is the follow-on from the Classic Mile, a race for four-year-olds, this time over 1,800 metres, and the Classic Mile won by My Wish in January. Exactly half of this field of 14 went around in that race, including the first three place getters from the Classic Mile reappearing. Now, as we'll see in a moment, Classic Mile form has to be respected when we get to this race, but we also have the addition of horses with different form, like Steps Ahead, Sky Trust, Packing Angel and Johannes Brahms, and he was last behind My Wish but has won since. So I guess the first thing we need to do is have a look at the Classic Mile. There's a bit to take in. As I said, 7 of Sunday's runners were in this race. I'm going to highlight just a few of them. This is race 394, gate 8 My Wish pushes forward in red and yellow colours, Devano white colours goes back from gate 14, Packing Hermit gate 6 yellow, blue and white colours camps off the speed, and Johannes Brahms as gate 10 mauve colours drifts back and is caught wide. Now, as you can see on the heat map, the pace is strong early, so plenty of merit here in My Wish's victory up on the speed. The leaders do steady mid-race and then they kick again in the home straight, which in turn adds merit to Devano coming from last. Packing Hermit, well, he's the one who got the best trip, didn't appear to have any excuses, while Johannes Brahms was having a very tough run. He was caught 4 wide throughout the race. My Wish does at both ends though. Devano runs at him strongly and can't get past. So I think first and second emerge from that race with the most credit. Johannes Brahms, as I said, he emerged with a big excuse and he's since been responsible for an impressive win in Class 2 subsequently. So he comes back to this race with strong claims. But just participation in the Classic Mile over the years has been a guide to performing well in the Classic Cup. Since the Classic Cup's inception in 2006, there have been only 5 winners of both, including Helios Express last year, but the Cup winner has usually started in the mile and usually run well or at least not failed. That certainly gives us a push for My Wish, Devano and Packing Hermit, but there have been exceptions, and the one I want to highlight is 2 years ago when Super Sunny Singh started favourite in the Classic Cup, coming via a different form route, and he won the race, beating another horse from a different form line, Sword Point. Neither of those two had run in the Classic Mile. And I think this year there are good arguments for a number of horses coming from different form lines, but the one at the top of them is Packing Angel. Now, Packing Angel did run on Classic Mile Day, but in a Class 3 over 1,400 metres, and that was his 3rd win in succession. This is race 397. He's in gate 10. Zach Purton, wearing blue and white colours, is first out of the gates, and Purton is keen to get across from his wider draw, but he doesn't want the lead, easing in behind the speed as he comes across. Now, the pace is consistent through the race, except for the sharp increase from the 800 metres to the 400 metres, which you can see caused by the grey horse coming around to pressure the leaders. Packing Angel takes it all in his stride. He sprints quickly at the leaders around the 200 metres, draws away and is really not stopping at the end of the 1,400 metre distance. So now he faces a big jump in distance, an extra 400 metres on Sunday, but I think he's going to get a map which will help him. One of the things we often see going from the Classic Mile to the Classic Cup is the employment of different tactics, usually by horses which didn't win the first leg. Connections might draw differently or might just try something different to try and change that result. Sometimes it works, sometimes not. We get a different style of race therefore, and that's one of the reasons we get some upset results, even though the core of the field will be the same as in the Classic Mile. This time, with the 1,000 metre run to the first turn from this start, I think we'll see a steadier pace early. California Totality looks a reliable front runner. Packing Angel from gate 1 we've seen has the tactical ability to get out quickly, and he might be the one trailing the leader. And Johannes Brahms, I think, should get a much kinder run here than he had in the Classic Mile from the wide gate, or even in the race he won since. My Wish, well, he has always shown good tactical speed. He'll have no trouble sitting near the pace. And I wonder if Devano, with a change of jockey, might be ridden differently too, despite a similar draw. Packing Hermod, well, he had an inside gate last time. Now he has a wide draw, unlike in the Classic Mile, and decisions have to be made about how he's going to be ridden. All in all, I don't see it as a quick run race. A place near the front looks vital. So the tip from me in race 7 is Packing Angel. His winning factor, the map. Now, as I pointed out, historically, we do have to have plenty of respect for whatever happened in the Classic Mile as a guide to this race. But I think this is a year where the alternative form lines could prove at least the equal of the Classic Mile. And with that in mind, Packing Angel, he brings as good a form line outside the Classic Mile as any runner, and I think he really gets the best of the map. The second race I want to take a look at for Sunday is race 10, where our winning factor is the distance. This is a Class 3 over 1200 metres and a race field containing plenty of talent. Several of the runners here are 4-year-olds who were tried over further for the sake of the 4-year-old series, but have now returned to sprinting. Fast Network, Glory Elite and Call Me Glorious. Talented Savvy Brilliant, he resumes after a break for some health issues, and down in the handicaps, Meowth, Blazing Wind and Right Arian have got chances, so it certainly isn't a walkover for any runner. But the horse I really want to focus on is a last start disappointment, the lightly raced 4-year-old Master of My Universe. And I want to take a look at why his results were so different at his last 2 starts. And firstly, that means looking at his graduation into Class 3 2 starts ago. This is race 344, gate 8, pink colours, and Master of My Universe is one of the last to begin, something that we have seen from him. He gets back in the field, wide with cover, and he does show a bit of his inexperience in running when the pace isn't strong early, but enjoys it more when the tempo picks up mid-race. Zach Purton has him travelling well and poised as they straighten for home. It isn't a cakewalk at all, but he quickens up, gets past the leaders, and then fights on to score narrowly. So that was just his 4th race start, Master of My Universe, and I thought there was plenty of merit to the win, but he did show those signs of greenness, and it was his newness to racing that really helped to bring him undone at his subsequent run when stepped up to 1400 metres. This is race 417. This time he's in gate 14 in those pink colours with Ben Thompson aboard, and when the leaders charge out early, he has no option but to be last. But as the field in front of him slows down, he over-races back at the tail, and that's a waste of energy that is going to hurt him later. In the home stretch, he's still giving a big start. He has wasted that energy mid-race by fighting the jockey, and he really can't afford that. A midfield finish is the best that he can manage. Now, trainer John Size has quickly dropped him back to 1200 metres, no doubt seeking a more genuine tempo, and I think the map for this weekend's race shows that that's probably what he's going to get. Call Me Glorious has always shown good pace at sprint distances and has blinkers going on. Glory Elite is a fast, reliable leader, and there is more possible pace from Crimson Flash up from 1000 metres, and Wonder Star, who missed away last time but has shown speed in his other races. So the smallish field contains good speed. Master of My Universe will likely get back again, though he does draw better this time, and it's possible he could be closer than I'm mapping him if he does jump better. But for me, the final piece of the puzzle is the booking of Ryan Moore for the ride. Now, Ryan is here for only a few meetings, but I thought it was worth having a look at his record in Hong Kong. Now, Ryan's one of the world's great jockeys. Mostly he comes to Hong Kong for big races, and he's won quite a few of those, but he has also done a brief stint as a club jockey here, so we have some stats for him. Now, this is his record for the current local trainers, as well as, at the bottom, his overall record in Hong Kong. And what sticks out to me is his record for John Size. Although I often highlight the difficulty with backing size horses because they're almost always overvalued in the betting, that isn't the case when it comes to pairing with Ryan Moore. Their combination is comfortably ahead of market expectations, and that gets my attention. So the tip in race 10, Master of My Universe. His winning factor, the distance. Now I should point out that a number of the leading chances here are dropping back in distance, and it's going to benefit them as well. But I think the most significant is Master of My Universe, a very lightly raced horse still, who did a lot wrong at 1400 metres. And coming back to 1200 metres, John Size is looking for more consistent tempo. I think he'll get it. And then we've got the added bonus on top of Ryan Moore, who has a great combination with John Size anytime he rides in Hong Kong. Well, that's it from the winning factor this week. Good luck on Sunday. We'll see you next time.